let's just get this straight. Deion Sanders is not mad because of that ranking. Colorado head coach Deion Sanders has set college football ablaze once again with his latest takes at the Colorado Media Day. Watch this.
Eric Christensen with CBS Sports Colorado.
CBS,
Tyler,
I'm not doing nothing with CBS. Next question.
Joe Rigo, Mile High
Ain't got
Sports
nothing to do with
Radio.
you. It's above that. Ain't got nothing to do with you. I got love for you. I appreciate you, respect you. Ain't got nothing to do with you. They know what they did.
I'm here in Denver, not national.
You are who you are. CBS is CBS.
All right.
Joe
Ain't got
Rigo, Mile
nothing
High
to do with
Sports.
you. I respect you. That's why I told you that. I'm looking you in the eye as a man. I respect you. I got love for you. But what they did was foul.
All right, there you have it. People are wondering, why did Deion go so hard on this company? And I said on this company because he was very clear to make it known that he had no beef with the journalists who asked the question. But this company. So when people go down and they do their research and they search Twitter and they try to find articles from this company tied to Deion Sanders, the first thing that comes up is a ranking of where a particular writer saw the coaching structure or hierarchy in the Big 12, and Deion Sanders was second to last. So, of course, naturally, everyone is thinking Deion Sanders is being emotional about a ranking. Totally false. I am here to say unequivocally, unabashedly, that right now, Deion Sanders ain't thinking about a ranking. How can you be so sure, Deuce? Well, I kind of understand the guy a little bit. This is the thing. That ranking was a fact-based opinion, okay? Someone who does this for a living, who writes, was asked to do a job. Someone was going to have to be second to last. He chose it to be Deion Sanders. I don't think that Deion has any issue with that. Why? Because that's one man's opinion and it's based in fact. It's not, I don't like how Deion talks. It's not, I don't like the clothes he wears. It's not, he's too loud. It's not, there's a circus going on in Colorado. It was totally based on what he saw on the football field. Deion Sanders, of anybody in the sports world, has some of the thickest skin when it comes to someone criticizing his on-field performance. He's used to it. His whole career, whether player or coach, he's always had to prove people wrong. And when he does, he'll let you know about it. But he's not taking proving someone wrong, especially when it's fact-based, that personally. Now, later, he had an instance where he told a writer, you don't like me. You don't like us.
Couple more.
Coach Sean Keeler, the Denver Post. Happy summer, my man.
You don't like us, man. Why do you do this to yourself?
Come on.
You don't like us.
Mark likes me, by the way.
Huh?
Yeah. Mark said he likes me.
No,
so
but
that's
you
one.
don't. Why do you
That's
do
one.
this, though?
No.
What's the difference in a fact-based opinion and someone not liking you? When you look at the writer who had the rankings, who wrote the rankings, if you look at his last 70 articles, he's only mentioned Deion Sanders by name twice. You can go look it up for yourself, search his name, go to the website that he reports for, pull it up, and it'll show you all of his articles. He is not consistently bashing Deion Sanders. He is not making any personal attacks on Deion Sanders. He is reporting the news, and when it's not the news and he's asked for his opinion, he gave his opinion on something football and fact-based. And when I say fact-based, the facts as far as he's looking at 4-8 last year or whatever, or however that goes. But it's kind of football-based. The other guy, if you go look at his last group of articles, he mentions Deion frequently and is almost never in a positive light. So that's the difference. So that's why he reacted differently to those two. Now, let's dive into Deion Sanders and what really happened. Deion Sanders is not shy. He is, if you look up the antonym of shy, there's a picture of Deion Sanders smiling. 1,000% not shy. So if he wanted it all the way out there of what really happened, he would have said it himself. Now, on a personal note, I do have a personal relationship with Coach Sanders. I do. All right. So last week, I was in Chicago at the National Association of Black Journalists, and I had the privilege of having a sit-down meeting with Monica McNair, and I also was allowed to talk to Stephen A. Smith, who gave me a lot of game. And Mr. Smith told me, said, Dukes, in the field and the position that you're in, you're going to have to toe the line of personal relationships and journalistic integrity, and you're going to have to do a great job at it. Because there are going to be times where you will befriend some of the guys that you're writing on and females, but you have a responsibility to report on what you know. Right now, I'm towing that line because of any of the subjects or people that I've written on or I've talked about, Deion Sanders, I'm probably the closest with. No other head coach has seen my social media and said, hey, man, I saw a little man just made the sixth grade team as a fifth grader. Good job. Tell him I said good job. Nobody else is doing that, right? So I can speak to that portion of it. What I do know is this. The key word in what Deion Sanders said about this company was foul. And in my community, foul is exactly how it sounds. Foul. In baseball, a foul ball is not within the game. It's out of play. Something that you can't count. It shouldn't happen, right? We can't count that because it's out of play. When you talk about somebody doing something foul, back at Martin Lawrence, what did he say? You're living foul, Pam. You're living foul, trifling, all of that. Foul is a word that triggers emotion. So when you look at the relationship between Coach Prime Deion and said company, there has been multiple instances where they have worked together very well. 60 Minutes twice in recent years. 2 times now. 1 time in Colorado. Hosted that company at Colorado for his weekly show. Was just on this company in March promoting the book. When we talk about the powers that be, there are very few people that can look eye to eye with the powers that be. Deion Sanders is one. Long-standing relationship with people over there. We talk about foul. We also talk about trust. What I heard in Deion's response was there was an abuse of trust somewhere. And I'm privy to part of that abuse of trust. I really am. But part of my journalistic integrity is to share a little. And on the personal side of it, I'm not going to overstep and say everything that I know. What I will say is this. Deion Sanders ain't upset because somebody ranked him second to last in the Big 12. That's something that he could control because these rankings don't get you into the playoffs. He ain't mad about that. That's his goal. I'll say this. There was a project between the two that one person did their part and was vulnerable enough to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to share this with you. The other faction, said company, without notice or without saying anything, after all of this time and effort was put into something, basically said, nah, this ain't a good look for us right now. Even though it's a good look for you, it's not a good look for us right now. X-nay on the object prey. Over with. No project. Out of the blue. So imagine you're working on a group project and you say, okay, I'm going to do my part. Okay, you do your part. And then your partner says, all right, well, I got my part too. And then when you get up in front of the class and you're ready to present, you get a 50, which is a failing grade, or you don't, the class doesn't see it because the guy doesn't show up. Your partner doesn't do their part. You're going to feel upset about that. You're going to feel like I trusted you to do something and you did not do that. That's all it is. So if you want to know why Deion Sanders reacted the way he did, there was an abuse of trust between the two. And I'm sure that will be expounded upon later on. But as far as what I can say, it was way deeper than a ranking. So right now, the narrative is, well, why is Deion being so emotional about that? If you really knew what was going on, you wouldn't be able to say that. And just because of where I am in the situation, which I'm not really in it, but for my job and to make sure that I'm reporting well and I'm saying what I'm supposed to say, I can't really dive into details. But you better believe there was something that was supposed to be done on both sides. The side, Deion's side, held up their end of the bargain. And the other side did not. and it wasn't for the greater good, it was for the good of their side. And that's why Deion said it was foul. He could have used any other word in the dictionary, but he used a very pointed word, which was foul. So, foul or fair, however you want to call it. Let's just get this straight. Deion Sanders is not mad because of that ranking. I rest my case. Make sure you tune into the 5-Star Flicks.